Once upon a time, in the dusty outskirts of a bustling city where hope often struggled to survive, there lived a young man named Malik. His world was small, measured not by dreams but by daily survival. He lived in a one-room shack built from rusted zinc sheets and cracked wood, squeezed between an open gutter and a busy roadside. When it rained, water leaked through the roof and soaked the thin mattress he shared with his younger sister, Aisha. When the sun was hot, the room turned into an oven. Yet, despite everything, Malik woke up every morning with determination burning quietly in his chest. Malik had known poverty all his life. His father died when he was just 10 years old, crushed by a falling beam at a construction site where safety was a luxury the poor could not afford. His mother, Fatima, tried to hold the family together by selling fried bean cakes at the roadside. She worked from dawn till late night, her hands always smelling of oil, her back bent from years of hardship. Still, the money was never enough. School fees piled up, rent was overdue, and hunger was a constant visitor in their home. As a child, Malik was brilliant. His teachers often praised his sharp mind and curiosity. He loved numbers, loved solving problems, loved asking questions about how things worked. But brilliance does not feed an empty stomach. When Malik was 16, his mother fell seriously ill. Hospital bills swallowed everything they had. Faced with impossible choices, Malik dropped out of school to work and support his family. That day, as he folded his worn uniform for the last time, he felt as though part of his soul had been buried alive. He took any job he could find. He washed cars under the scorching sun, carried cement at construction sites, hawked sachet water in traffic, and sometimes slept on empty stomachs so his sister could eat. Life was cruel, and the city did not show mercy to dreamers. Many nights, Malik lay awake listening to the sounds of laughter from nearby bars, wondering why life was so unfair. Yet, deep inside, he refused to believe that poverty was his destiny. One evening, while resting near a small cyber cafe after a long day of labor, Malik noticed a group of young people inside staring at computer screens. Curious, he stepped in. The owner, an elderly man named Mr. Bello, watched him closely. Malik explained that he only wanted to look. Instead of chasing him away, Mr. Bello surprised him. "Do you know how to use a computer?" the old man asked. "No, sir," Malik replied honestly, "but I want to learn." Something in Malik's eyes moved Mr. Bello. Perhaps it was the hunger not for food, but for opportunity. That night marked the beginning of a quiet transformation. Mr. Bello allowed Malik to come after hours to learn basic computer skills. Malik cleaned the cafe in exchange for lessons. He learned how to type, browse the internet, and use basic software. Every new skill felt like opening a door to a world he never knew existed. Malik became obsessed with learning. He read free articles online, watched tutorials, and practiced endlessly. He discovered the world of digital work, freelancing, and online business. It amazed him that people could earn money using just a computer and knowledge. To Malik, it sounded like magic. But magic, he learned, required discipline. Months turned into years. Malik saved every little amount he could. He skipped meals, walked long distances instead of paying transport, and endured mockery from friends who thought he was wasting his time. Eventually, he bought a second-hand laptop with a cracked screen. It was old and slow, but to Malik, it was treasure. With the laptop, Malik began offering small services online, typing documents, designing simple flyers, managing social media pages for small businesses. The pay was little, and sometimes clients cheated him, but he learned from every mistake. Failure became his teacher, not his enemy. Then tragedy struck again. His mother passed away quietly one night, her body finally surrendering to years of exhaustion and illness. Malik was shattered. The weight of responsibility now rested fully on his shoulders. For weeks, he struggled to function. Grief wrapped around him like a thick fog. But when he looked at Aisha, still young and hopeful, he found strength. He promised himself that her life would be different. Malik worked harder than ever. He specialized in digital marketing after discovering its potential. He learned how to help businesses grow online. Slowly, clients began to notice his dedication. Word spread. Small businesses started recommending him. His income grew from barely surviving to slightly stable. One day, Malik landed a contract with a medium-sized company. The payment was more money than he had ever held at once. With shaking hands, he transferred part of it to pay off debts and enrolled Aisha back in school. The rest, he invested in better equipment and online courses. For the first time, Malik felt hope, not as a fragile dream, but as a solid possibility. Success did not come overnight. There were setbacks, power failures, internet problems, and moments of deep self-doubt. But Malik had learned patience from poverty. He knew how to endure. Years passed. Malik registered his own digital agency. He employed other young people from poor backgrounds, teaching them the same skills that saved him. His business expanded beyond the city, attracting international clients. Money began to flow steadily. He moved his family from the shack to a modest apartment. Later, he built a house for himself and Aisha in a quiet neighborhood. With wealth came new challenges. Some old friends returned with fake smiles and endless requests. Some accused him of pride for changing his lifestyle. Malik learned that success reveals people's true nature. He helped where he could, but refused to be manipulated. He remembered the hunger, the tears, the nights of despair, and he stayed grounded. One afternoon, Malik stood on the balcony of his office building, overlooking the city that once swallowed his dreams. He remembered the boy who sold sachet water in traffic, the teenager who dropped out of school, the young man who cried beside his mother's body. Tears filled his eyes, not of pain, but gratitude. Malik did not measure his success by luxury alone. He funded scholarships for underprivileged children, supported widows, and partnered with organizations to train youths in digital skills. He became a symbol of hope, proof that beginnings do not define endings. Years later, Malik was invited to speak at a conference. Standing before thousands, he shared his story, not to boast, but to inspire. His voice trembled as he said, "Poverty is loud. It tells you every day that you are nothing. But if you listen carefully, there is a quiet voice inside you that says, 'Try again.'" That voice saved me. When the applause filled the hall, Malik smiled softly. He knew his journey was not just his own. It belonged to every child who slept hungry but still dreamed. Every youth mocked for believing in something better. Every soul trying to rise from the ashes. And so, from rags to riches, Malik's story became a living reminder that while life may not be fair, perseverance, learning, and resilience can rewrite destiny. The end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting African stories.